Top of the Maybach riding down in Rodeo. Hurrah. Top of the Maybach riding down Rodeo. I'm fun and great. What you know about that, man? Free YSL till I'm dead and pale. Oh wait, the free YSL's already free, so I ain't gotta be dead and pale on Fun and Grave. If you ain't listen to them thug tapes with the whole YSL on them, especially that last one, then you sleep. You missing out on some good ass music.
When the Chicago drill scene first blew up in the early 2010s, it became the favorite genre of everyone, ranging from white suburban kids who had become obsessed with the raw energy and danger of the music, to other street kids from all over America who saw their own struggles reflected in the drill sound, with one of these kids being Lil Pab from Savannah, Georgia, who would seemingly become a fan of Lil Durk in particular, tweeting about him several times during 2012 and 2013. Meanwhile, years later, Lil Durk, who was already a star, would publicly show love to a rising southern rapper named Quando Rondo, who would just so happened to be Lil Pab's cousin.
That's crazy though, how you really go from being cool with somebody and being a fan of somebody to beefing with them so fast. Like, it's a lot of people that I think I never, it's a lot of people I think or thought that I never like have any issues with that was famous or clouded, but I got issues with them. Specifically Trey Songz. Trey Songz, you took my hoe, bro. It wasn't my hoe. She was for everybody. But still, you know what I'm saying? I'm on rocky terms with the hoe. Then I found out that you took her to your after party. What's that? What part of the game is that? That ain't player.
Then, during one fateful night in November 2020, a rap beef that had been slowly developing between Durk and his OTF crew and NBA Youngboy and his affiliates would come to a tragic culmination, as Quando, who was Youngboy's artist, became tied to the killing of Durk's close friend King Von. While caught in the middle of it all was Lil Pab, no longer a young rap fan, but one of Quando's closest associates in the rap game. In an effort to get revenge for King Von, Durk allegedly arranged a plot to have Quando killed in Los Angeles. The alleged plot would take shape on August 18th, 2022, when Durk's associates learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a Los Angeles hotel. Within hours, a deadly conspiracy was set in motion. That same day, it's claimed that 5 of Durk's OTF members, DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, Asa Houston, and a 5th unnamed suspect, boarded flights from Chicago to San Diego, all allegedly funded by Durk and his OTF label. But Durk was careful to cover his tracks, even texting an associate arranging the flights with a chilling message instructing them not to book any flights under names connected to him. This instruction was not followed. While his hitmen were en route to do his dirty work, surveillance footage would later show Durk himself was staying at a house in San Fernando Valley, close enough to oversee the operation, but far enough to maintain plausible deniability.
Oversee the operation is crazy, because what you mean oversee the operation? They going on a hit gang, so it's not like they finna goddamn like this ain't no army. I got the drone watching you and I'm gonna make sure you doing what you supposed to do. No, bro, it's not like that. He can't oversee no damn hit. Like, only thing he could do if he really did call it a hit is place it and wait, get high in the crib. That's the only thing he can do.
Once the crew arrived in Los Angeles, they would meet with Kayvon Grant, top OTF associate who had flown in on a private jet with Durk himself. Grant became the operations coordinator, booking hotel rooms for the killers, purchasing 4 ski masks to conceal their identities, and obtaining 2 luxury sedans for the hit. But most disturbing of all, Grant armed the crew with multiple firearms, including one that had been illegally converted into a fully automatic machine gun by using a switch. The next morning, August 19th, the hunt began as the OTF crew would begin stalking their prey. They followed Quando and his cousin around LA like predators, tracking them to a smoke dispensary, then to a clothing store in West Hollywood, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. That moment would come when Quando's black Cadillac Escalade pulled into a gas station directly across from the popular Beverly Center shopping mall. Houston strategically parked his vehicle behind the station, creating an escape route, while Jones, Lindsay, and the last gunman prepared for the ambush. In broad daylight, at one of the busiest intersections in the city, filled with bystanders watching, the 3 killers would emerge from their vehicle and open fire, turning a routine.
You know how crazy that is though, gang? That, like, come on, bro. You goddamn pop somebody across the street from the Beverly Center? Are you crazy, from the Beverly Center though? Like, I don't know if y'all really been to LA, but equate the Beverly Center, like the Beverly Center is right by Beverly Hills, gang. The Beverly Center is right up the street from Cookies and all that shit. The Beverly Center is the last place you're supposed to be trying to smoke somebody. And like, that just lets you know how far gone the world is. People getting smoked on Oak Street in Chicago. People getting smoked in Beverly Hills and Beverly Center and all this shit, man. It's no real safe spaces no more, gang. You got the chain snatcher and goddamn design district in Miami walking around trying to troll motherfuckers and shit. Somebody ain't to smack that nigga with the Glock, man. He walking around being too goddamn funny.
Gas stop into an absolute bloodbath. But the hit went wrong, and Quando's cousin Lil Pab, real name Savia Robinson, a fellow gangster from Savannah, Georgia, would catch a bullet instead, later succumbing to his injuries. Ironically, Pab's murder would end his life just before he was due to face court on RICO charges of his own in his native city. Pab, also known to the streets as Band Up Pablo, was facing serious federal charges alongside 10 other gang members in a case that had been building since January 2019. The RICO indictment accused him of participating in a 9-month crime spree that included theft, burglary, car theft, and fraudulent financial
9
transactions.
months is crazy.
The charges weren't minor. Lil Pab had specifically been accused of stealing 10 vehicles worth over $100,000 from the Chatham Parkway Collision Center back in August 2017. He was also facing other charges for fleeing from the police after leading officers on a high-speed chase from Georgia all the way to South Carolina. But despite his criminal charges, Lil Pab had been trying to turn his life around while out on bond in the last 2 years. He'd started 2 legitimate businesses, a trucking company called A&S Enterprise Carriers and a French bulldog breeding operation called Supreme Exotic Frenchies. But the streets...
Why do all hood niggas want to goddamn sell Frenchies, bro? That's one thing I never understood. What is the fascination with hood niggas and Frenchies, bro? First of all, Frenchies is damn near unethical. Second of all, y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all don't really know how to groom and train them and actually make sure they okay. You just get a bunch of goddamn Frenchies, breed them, and then just have the babies. It's weird as hell, gang. Like, y'all don't even be having no plans for this shit. Y'all just go ahead and do a bunch of random shit and hope that it works.
Had marked him for death before he could truly escape. Lil Pab was scheduled to appear in court on August the 26th, just 7 days after he was gunned down in Los Angeles. But Lil Durk's alleged thirst for revenge ensured that Lil Pab would never make it to that courtroom, and in the process, shattered the very career that Lil Durk had spent over a decade building. But
allegedly,
of course, Durk would first try to cover his tracks. As his co-conspirators were being arrested in Chicago, Durk frantically booked multiple international flights, all allegedly having the same end destination, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Durk's lawyers would argue that this is because Durk often had business dealings in the UAE, as well as being a Muslim and sharing his spiritual connection to the country. But interestingly, the country is also known not to have a strict extradition treaty with the US. However, federal agents caught Durk at Miami Airport just 1 hour before his private jet was scheduled to depart, ending his bid for freedom and sealing his fate. Now, the murder of Lil Pab was allegedly a calculated hit job, but sometimes the danger comes from the chaos that these rappers attract. When that chaos spills into the public spaces, innocent lives can get caught in the crossfire, which takes us to the last story that's about none other than Tupac Shakur and how his beef with some disgruntled fans led to the death of a completely innocent.
But we ain't gotta get into that Tupac Shakur, man. You trying to stretch it, you know what I'm saying? We ain't here to talk about Tupac Shakur. We're here about to talk about Lil Durk. Durky, yo, I wanna hear you say Durky, yo. Oh, no, so let's go ahead and talk about Smirk. First of all, I don't think he really did this shit because it just doesn't really make sense for him to crash out like that. Even if he did do it, like, I don't think he's that dumb to order a hit, rap about it, and then not go on a run, especially when you know, like, the feds is on to you. He know the feds is hot. He know the feds is listening. He made the song Feds Listening. I'm from the grave. I think the feds listening. I'm from the, he already know what's going on. So I think he didn't do that. I think some other people in LTF might have did that just to prove their rank or just to, like, show out for Lil Durk, possibly. But I don't think Lil Durk actually did that shit, gang. Like, it's not really making a lot of sense. They trying to throw a lot of shit on his name. Not making sense to me right now, though, brother. But you never know till you dip low. There's a lot of shit that be going on behind the scenes. So who knows what really happened behind closed doors. But I don't think that he did that. If you think that he did that, I think you tweaking. But hey, to each their own, man. Free Smirk. Goddamn, free the whole OTF. And honestly, I'm going to say what everybody thinking. I don't feel bad for Quando. Because, okay, if someone whoop your ass, okay, the situation with Vine and them, I kind of understand. Like, I'm not mad at them about. But what I don't like is, now, after the situation, he tried to make a end of story song. Then he started dissing. Then he got with Angela Lee talking about, yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't expect none of this to happen. It's like he was trying to ride the clout wave, and then you went broke, and now you're in jail. Well, prison, actually. So, it's no, I don't feel bad for you. If you would have smoked Vine and then just been on some shit like, I wish that shit never happened, I would have understood. But you over here trying to act tough Tony when you low-key got your ass beat. I ain't rocking with that, man. I can't get down with that.